Impact Wrestling presents Rebellion. Live on Sunday the April the 16th, Impact Wrestling returns to the Rebel Entertainment Complex in Toronto for its spring pay-per-view extravaganza, Rebellion. Tickets are now on sale at eventbrite.com. Josh Alexander out of action indefinitely. New world champion to be crowned at April the 16th at the Rebellion pay-per-view. The record-setting title run of Josh Alexander is officially over, as he will relinquish the Impact Wrestling World Championship due to a tricep tear that will require surgery, Impact confirmed. Alexander became a two-time world champion at the 2022 Rebellion pay-per-view event in Poughkeepsie, New York, and is the longest reigning Impact World Champion in the company history, with successful title defenses against Moose, Rich Swann, Alex Shelley, Frankie Kazarian, and Bully Ray, among others. Josh Alexander is currently in Orlando, Florida, where Brad M. Holman will be performing a tricep tendon repair later today. On Sunday, April the 16th, at the Rebellion pay-per-view in Toronto, Kushida and Steve MACLIN will compete in a match to determine the new Impact Wrestling World Champion. Josh Alexander was originally scheduled to face Kushida at the co-branded Multiverse United Only the Strong Survive show on Thursday, March the 30th, from the sold-out Global Theatre in Los Angeles as part of a WrestleCon. His replacement will be announced at a later date. Sacrifice will stream live tonight starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time from St. Clair's College in Windsor, Ontario, on Impact Plus, YouTube for Impact Ultimate Insiders, and Fight. A limited number of tickets remain for the Sacrifice Fallout show on Saturday, March the 25th in Windsor. We wish Josh a full and speedy recovery, and everyone at Impact Wrestling, including our loyal fans, can't wait to see him back in the ring, said Impact Wrestling President Scott D'Amore. Hardcore War returns as Team Bully battles Team Dreamer at Rebellion. Rebellion will play host to the return of Hardcore War as Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer lead their representative teams into battle. At Sacrifice, the arch rivals went head to head in the first ever Busted Open match, which saw Bully bend the rules in order to achieve victory. But what happened after the bell would shock the wrestling world to its core. Impact President Scott D'Amore made his return after being brutally attacked by Bully back in January. D'Amore would join forces with Dreamer and other members of the Impact locker room to push back against Bully and his minions, capping it off with a jaw-dropping Canadian destroyer to Jason Hotch. In an attempt to settle their differences once and for all, both Bully and Dreamer must now recruit a team for Hardcore War, a match in which there are no disqualifications, no countouts, and absolutely anything goes. Jordynne Grace and Deonna Purrazzo renew hostilities at Rebellion for Knockouts World title. Following an injury to Mickie James that would prevent her from defending the Knockouts World title, we learned that the current number one contender Jordynne Grace would face the winner of a four-way match to crown a new champion at Rebellion. That is, unless James is cleared to compete for April the 16th, in which case that match would become a triple threat with James defending the title. The stars were out at Multiverse United as Deonna Purrazzo conquered Marcia Slamovich and Giselle Shaw and Mia Yamashita to punch her ticket to Toronto. Grace and Proazzo are no strangers to one another, as the two were involved in one of the Knockouts division's most acclaimed rivalries of 2020. In fact, Proazzo defeated Grace to become Knockouts World Champion for the very first time at that year's Slammiversary event, with Proazzo and Grace set to renew hostilities at Rebellion. The question on the minds of wrestling fans around the world is who will leave Toronto as the Knockouts World Champion. Ultimate X for the tag team titles. The Impact World Tag Team titles will be hanging in the balance literally when Bullet Club defends against the Motor City Machine Guns in the return of Ultimate X. The High Wire Spectacular is back for the first time in 2023 as Ace Austin and Chris Bay and Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin continue their epic saga. Ever since being dethroned by Bullet Club earlier this year in Las Vegas, the Guns have made it their mission to reclaim their spot at the top of the division. Following their victory over TMDK on Impact, the Guns laid out the challenge and the match was made official. Who will risk it all for the Impact World Tag Team title? Find out in the non-stop adrenaline rush that is Ultimate X. Santino Marella's in-ring return. For the past several months, Callahan has endured a grueling initiation process to join the design. Recently on Impact, the group's leader Dina informed Callahan that Step 7 would require him to eliminate the authority in his life. Later that same night, Director of Authority Santino Marella was brutally assaulted backstage, presumably by Callahan. Following a meeting involving Marella and Dirty Dango and Impact President Scott D'Amore, Marella announced that he would compete in a match for the first time in over 9 years as he teamed with Dango and digital media champion Joe Hendry to battle the design. With revenge on the mind of Marella, there's no telling what might happen in this heated 6-man tag team match. X Division title 3-way elimination match. The rubber match between Jonathan Gresham and Mike Bailey was set to determine the number 1 contender for the X Division title. That is until reigning champion Trey Miguel took them both out with a springboard dropkick, bringing an abrupt halt to the bout. Later in the night, Miguel was informed that due to his actions, he must now defend the X Division title against both Gresham and Bailey in a 3-way elimination match at Rebellion. Will the cocky and brash Miguel finally get what's coming to him when he has not 1 but 2 challenges gunning for his title? And if so, will it be Bailey or Gresham who captures the X Division's most coveted prize? Knockouts World Tag Team Championship set for Rebellion. Last month, the Coven shocked the world when they defeated the Death Dolls to become Knockouts World Tag Team Champions in their first match as a duo. But on Countdown to Sacrifice, Rosemary gained a measure of revenge as she bested Kylin King in a singles competition. Now the Death Dolls are set to receive their contractually obligated rematch at Rebellion, with the Knockouts World Tag Team titles on the line. Will the dealers of the dark magic remain at the top of the mountain, or will the Death Dolls bring an end to their reign before it even gets started? Hardcore War set for Rebellion. Rebellion will play host to the return of Hardcore War as Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer lead their representative teams into battle. At Sacrifice, the arch rivals went head to head in their first ever busted open match, which saw Bully bend the rules in order to achieve victory. But what happened after the bell would shock the wrestling world to its core. Impact President Scott D'Amore made his return after being brutally attacked by Bully back in January. D'Amore would join forces with Dreamer and other members of the Impact locker room to push back against Bully and his minions, capping it off with a jaw-dropping Canadian destroyer to Jason Hotz. In an attempt to settle their differences once and for all, both Bully and Dreamer must now recruit a team for Hardcore War, a match in which there are no disqualifications, no countouts, and absolutely anything goes. We now know that Team Bully will consist of Bully Ray and the Good Hands and Kenny King and Master Slamovich. Joining Team Dreamer will be Tommy Dreamer, Yuya Uemura, Frankie Kazarian and Killer Kelly, with one spot left to be filled. Eddie Edwards and PCO end their rivalry in a last rights match live this Sunday at Rebellion. For months, the intense rivalry between former Honor No More allies Eddie Edwards and PCO has sprawled across the Impact Zone, the parking lot, and even the Las Vegas desert. After failing to bury PCO alive, Edwards recruited Kenny King to join his cause. But when King fell to PCO at Sacrifice, Edwards made a move that would shock the Impact faithful. During a singles bout against PCO on Impact, Edwards reunited with his wife Alicia as she cracked PCO in the back with the couple's signature kendo stick. But after scoring the victory, Edwards was reminded that PCO is not human, as he sat up and chased them off the property. At Rebellion, it all comes down to this, as Eddie Edwards and PCO settle the score once and for all in the infamous last rights match, where the only way to win is to put your opponent inside a casket and close the lid. Live on Sunday the April the 16th, Impact Wrestling returns to the Rebel Entertainment Complex in Toronto for its spring pay-per-view extravaganza, Rebellion. Tickets are now on sale at eventbrite.com.